Welcome back to episode 14 of Fight Vibes podcast. Devin, good to see you, my man. I feel like it's been a hot minute, and I'm glad to be back on the pod with you, ready to talk about some super exciting stuff coming up. But first off, let me get your thoughts on Gaethje and Patty. Announced pretty recently, and for an interim belt, lay it on me.
I'm excited for the fight. I think stylistically the fight's going to be fun. It'll be entertaining. But like I've told you, I don't like interim title fights, so that's the only issues I have with it. And I know, Gaethje he beat Fazeev, but he lost to Holloway, so it's kind of weird him getting a title fight or an interim title fight. He's been asking for it, saying he deserves it. I think he's entertaining. I love watching Gaethje fight. But to be honest, this division's weird as it is, and I hate the idea of a interim title fight. I know that Ilya is going with, through the divorce stuff going on right now. That's real nasty. But I just feel like an interim title holds up the division. It doesn't help anything, and it's just especially on a fight card that you're already having a title fight, an actual title fight, and Kayla and Amanda, and then you're gonna put an interim to headline above them with two guys that are like, do either one of these guys really deserve to be in that mix right now? So that's how I feel about it. I think it's a fun fight,
Yeah,
but the whole title fight thing is weird.
yeah, that was kind of my thing with it too. Like I'm with you on that. I feel like interim titles 90% of the time don't need to happen at all, and this is especially one of those times. Because again, like it's not a big deal if Ilya is going to sit out till, let's say, May or even July. Let's say, like, oh well, you know what I mean. Like at least he'll get like one title fight in hopefully this year, and against like one of those two guys. And like you easily could have done it as a 5 round co-main event for Amanda and Harrison. But I'm with you, dude. I think that fight should have been headliner. I know Ariel Helwani said that too to Kayla pretty
Yeah,
recently, and I definitely get it. I mean, you're pretty much fighting for like the greatest women's martial artists of all time. I mean, outside of Valentina and Wei Li, I guess, but at least in that size of a woman, you're definitely getting that definitive answer. I feel like. I'm just hoping Amanda looks good after coming back off after all this time off. That's my only concern. But she's a dog. I mean, I feel like
yeah,
she's gonna find her step in there.
yeah. 100% agree. I do hate how women are disrespected in the sense of like not being able to be these headliners to something like an interim title, because you have Amanda Nunes, who is one of the best UFC champs to ever live. I
Yeah,
mean,
both
double
male and
champ.
female. Like she's just one
Yeah,
of the greatest in general.
100% dominant. Uh, Ruined a whole division with how she was fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, double champ. And then you have Kayla Harrison, who is a gold medalist. You saw what she did in the PFL, and then came over and won the title here in the UFC. I feel like they could have really hyped that up and helped pave the way for people to view women's MMA a little bit differently, especially because those two aren't your typical women fighters when they fight. Like they're not. It's not boring when Amanda fights. It's not boring when Kayla Harrison fights either. Like they're fun and
Yeah.
entertaining. I think they could for sure headline this fight, but if they didn't want that to be the headliner to the opening card of the Paramount Plus, they should have came out with a banger then instead of this interim title fight to start this new era. And that's where I have an issue too with the interim.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% with you on that too. And again, I'm really surprised they didn't save it for the White House card. The Harrison and Nunes card fight. Like, why don't you save that for the White House? Like, it's not that division isn't going anywhere right now. You know what I mean? Like, there's
Yeah.
no one that's like, oh, they're for sure next. Like, you had to bring Amanda back. You had to.
Yeah.
There's no one there that's interesting for Harrison to fight. Like, even if you were to somehow have Holly Holm win a couple more fights and then win a way back up to a rematch, like that's still not that fucking exciting at all. Like
Yeah, but
the division sucks. It
Holm is
really does
Holly.
right now.
How old is Holly? She's
Oh, she's like
what?
fucking 40 something now.
40? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, and that's my point. Like, it's really just based off of the name value now, like with all those women in there, and until we, and I guess the problem too is that we had Amanda Nunes, as the head front for that division and 145, and so we have our expectations so high, and
I know.
yeah, just for these girls to come in and kind of not even like half as good as her, not
I
even
know.
half.
And I hope, I really hope Amanda still looks the same. I mean, who knows how much her motivation has changed? I mean, because she has her daughter, she retired. I mean, she's been living good. She went double champ and then, I mean, ran that whole division and then was like, I got nothing left to prove. I'll retire. And who knows what she's been doing, just sitting on the couch hanging out. I've seen her sitting in the audience, kind of living her life.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know how much motivation she has to get back in there, and if she's gonna look the same. I really hope she does because I think it'll be a fun fight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who can implement their game plan because again, even with them two training with each other, like that's a whole different level of familiarity with your opponent. Like it's different watching film
Yeah,
on them and then understanding that, but like being in the training room with them, and that's American Top Team's problem right now, I think. Like I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. I feel like some people kind of think like, "Oh, that's really cool." Like, I don't know. I don't like that personally. I really don't because it kind of I want to say like it's not like wrestling and shit like that to where like fucking keep kayfabe and shit like that. Like I'm not talking about that, but like it's more of just like I feel like we could see a lot more fights if it wasn't that case because I don't want to fight my teammate, and I feel like that happens a lot in the UFC, especially now,
yeah,
and I hate
yeah,
that. It's stupid.
yeah. I agree, but I think it adds a little bit to this fight
Oh,
because
for
they
sure.
do have, they do have bad blood with each other, and I mean, Harrison has said that Amanda left because she was running because she knew that she would get beaten. So it's a fight that I wanted to see a while back, not
Yeah,
now. To
yeah,
be honest, it's going to be a fun fight, but you wanted to see that when Kayla Harrison was first coming in and Amanda was still on top.
for sure. Like I think this would have been one of the few times like where you'd done a promotion versus promotion card, and like that would have been gold. That
Yes.
would have been
Yeah,
gold,
that
man. But
100%.
I mean, again, the whole MMA promotions being the way that they are with like, I'm really only going to stick with my guys. I guess unless you're Bellator and PFL, which is the same fucking company now. There's no difference in that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no. Could
no,
you have
I'm looking forward to that fight for sure, though.
Yeah, I agree. Some of these other fight announcements though that they've announced, I don't know how I feel about some of them. Let me pull them up.
So I know we got Song Yadong and O'Malley fighting each other.
I think that'll be a fun one.
I'm pretty pumped for that one. I mean, I know I've seen several people call out already, but like the speed in that fight is gonna be insane, man. Like Song's hand speed is just insane. O'Malley's just fast in general with the movement and his hand speed and all around, even his kicks. So I'm really interested to see on how, because we saw what Song did to Corey, and he was doing pretty well with getting inside, but I do think that O'Malley could snipe him a bit easier than what Corey could do because Corey's not that power puncher, that O'Malley is, and if O'Malley's able to catch him with a good shot, we've seen Song get hurt. It's not impossible.
Yeah, yeah. And another one that's another one that I thought. Oh, so because you mentioned the Sean O'Malley and Song Yadong, and then there's Figueroa and Umar Nurmagomedov. How do you feel
Yeah,
about that?
I was
'Cause that came nowhere to me.
yeah, that was definitely out of like left field. Like that was in a different left field. You know what I mean? Like that was random as hell. I'm glad they're giving Figgy that chance, and I'm glad Umar's fighting. I'm glad Umar isn't doing this 1 year fight or one fight a year deal. And again, with him being active, I think it again helps him build a case to get back up at a title shot, anyways. Um,
Yeah,
I personally still think he would need another one after Figgy because I don't think, no disrespect to Figgy, but I don't think Figgy's anywhere where he used to be. I don't think bantamweight's necessarily the best place for him. I think he's kind of one of those guys who like falls in between weight classes. I think like 130 would be like perfect for him, but Yeah, I think Umar takes it pretty easily. But if he get
Yeah.
caught, man, I mean, he could easily get caught by straight and it could hurt him bad. Because I mean, we saw him
Yeah.
drop Cheeto, dude. Like that's the first time everyone's dropped Cheeto.
Yeah. I think I think Umar definitely has the advantage, but I mean Figueroa has the size, and I mean he can be gritty, but I feel like he just tires out a lot, and I think that's where Umar can really put it on him.
Yeah, for sure, especially in the wrestling.
And then on that same card, they announced Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis,
Yup.
which is another one that I was like, where did that come from? But that's that's gonna be fun for one round, I think.
Yeah, you got that right. Well, I mean, because like I guess it depends on how Derek approaches it. Because if he approaches it like he did against Teixeira, like yeah, it's gonna be a 1 round fight for sure. Like someone's getting hit with something big.
Yeah,
But it I hate to say it, but it could turn into a whole situation to where you have two gun shy guys. I really hate to say
I
it, but I think Aldo or Waldo Acosta is what the fuck is his name?
Waldo
It is Waldo, right?
Cortez Acosta.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. So I think Waldo's like has the enough like momentum going for him and enough confidence in him right now to where he feels like he could probably go finish Derek Lewis. And I'm sure he understands that threat. There's no way you fight Derek Lewis at this point and don't understand that. There's a nuke coming back at you every time. But no, I'm excited for that one. I'm glad that Waldo's like wanted to be that active, especially after just beating Gaziv.
I know. I wasn't when he first came in. I wasn't really on the hype train that he had. There was a lot of
Mm-hmm.
his style was pretty boring to me, and it was a lot of like jabbing and one of those new boring kind of heavyweights that I didn't see a lot of action out of. But here in these last couple fights, man, he's been knocking dudes out.
Yeah, I think
Like
it's just that confidence, man. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, just getting that momentum going within yourself. I'm sure just those fighters know like when they're really feeling it, and even for him to take that short notice fight against Gaziv was insane. Like, I thought that
I
was
know,
a crazy move.
I know, and I mean, shout to him for keeping it going.
Yeah,
That momentum.
yeah.
Um, Another fight that they put on this card that I didn't even see was on here until I was just looking at it was Arnold Allen and Gene Silva.
Yes, sir. I am pumped for that one, dude. I am pumped. I'm
That one's
pumped.
gonna be fun.
Yeah. Who do you have in that one? Because I've okay. I'm not gonna say who I've seen because like I feel like it's kind of an obvious answer with like the recency bias and stuff like that. But who do you have like in that one right now?
I I look to see Gene Silva get a bounce back. I know I know he's a little that I wouldn't say exposed, but I think he got a little too carried away that last fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really set up his. 'Cause, I mean, you saw it. He was putting it on him on that second round, and he could have finished that fight. He got a little too carried away, chasing him down, and got caught with that spinning elbow. And so I think I got Gene Silva bouncing back if his confidence isn't shot because he's been acting crazy from what I saw afterwards.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
something
mean, when is
he
he
was
not kind
getting
of
on
crazy
this.
though?
Yeah, well, I saw he was like got into it with someone. I don't remember.
Like at
It
a
was just
gym?
I was just no. I think it was online or something,
Oh, okay.
but it was just real weird and seemed out of character in a sense. But I don't know. We'll see how he bounces back. I hope that something like that because that was his first loss ever, right?
I don't think ever, but definitely in the UFC.
And I think something like that can really hurt your confidence.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how he bounces back against a guy like Arnold Allen. But it looked like you had a difference of opinion. So
So okay, I will say that I am kind of biased towards Arnold Allen. I am an Allen fan. Like I do like him and everything, but uh, I think that Allen is going to be able to be a little bit more technical against someone like Silva compared to Lopez. Because I mean, like we saw even pretty much in back-to-back fights with Lopez, you know, losing the Volk and then I mean getting hit a lot over in the Silva fight. You know, and he's not getting hit with crazy stuff. And so I'm not saying that obviously Silva's like a bum or anything like that, but I do think that he can be a bit overhyped at time, and I think it's just because of his tendency to get overzealous and get pretty crazy in there and just get a little too confident. But I do think that that Allen could take that one a decision. I don't think he could finish Silva unless he
No.
just catches him
Yeah.
like Lopez did. But and again, like I think if Lopez doesn't catch him like with that spinning elbow, I think Silva wins that fight, and I think we see
I think so.
I think we see Volk and Silva right now rather than Volk and Lopez too. And
Now,
yeah, okay.
let's finish this card before we get on to that one.
Yeah. But I think Allen could take a decision. It's a very close fight in my head right now.
Yeah.
And Silva definitely does have the power to put Allen away. And I think these weight cuts are getting a bit harder for Allen, especially with that thought of maybe I should move up to lightweight. So that's already kind of hurting my confidence in picking Allen. So who knows? I mean, maybe when I do, catching a vibe and stuff like that, like I'll pick Silva. I'm really 50-50 right now, but I want to lean towards Allen just because I'm a fan.
Yeah. This is a fight that I could see honestly going either way,
Mm-hmm.
but I think Gene Silva hops back into that win column. I
I
think we see a bounce back.
I hope he
And
does in a way. The only reason why I really hope that Allen wins is because he's so inactive, and I think that these losses are really kind of starting to get to him. And so
yeah,
I think a win obviously helps out his confidence, but it's just a brutal sport at times, man. I mean, we've seen it.
I think I think I think we could see Gene Silva. This is going to be a tougher fight. I don't know if he finishes Arnold Allen, but I think we see him hop back up there and start doing like what his buddy Carlos Prates is doing and start catching some fire and
Yeah.
hopefully getting back to that hype that he was, because I mean he was a fucking monster. And like
Yeah.
you said, I think he would have. I think he would have beat Diego Lopez. I think he was pretty close to it. I think he was on his way to finishing him either that round or the next.
Yeah.
It looked like it,
Yeah,
but
there
then he
was
got
no way Lopez was going to get hit with any more of those shots and be okay.
no,
Like
no,
that's going to be bad. But
and it just it happens. He over pursued and then got hit, and so we'll see. Um,
yeah. Well, I'm glad you
yeah,
mentioned Prades because that's definitely something like with that team. We were all kind of curious to see, okay, how do they bounce back from Silva losing? How do they bounce back from Brahalo losing? How do they bounce back from Prades losing? And I mean, we haven't seen Brahalo yet, but we're about to see Silva this weekend. But Prades coming back and getting 2 back-to-back wins in amazing fashion.
yeah,
That's a good sign. I definitely agree with that. That that camp is getting their head back on straight and
yep,
getting ready to take back over their divisions respectively.
yeah. I would love to see them because I mean, for a while they were the biggest thing in the UFC just
Yeah,
off of their hype and everything else. And I like when a camp gets hot like that and there's some character, because then it brings some storylines and some fun to the UFC instead of it just being like, well, here's another card, this guy, this guy. I like when a camp gets hot and they have that, especially something original like the Fighting Nerds and
yeah,
handing out the glasses and everything like that.
yeah, 100%. And again, that's kind of one of my reasons, like why, excuse me, why I'm not a big fan of like American Top Team. It's because like there's so many people there, and it's just kind of
Yeah,
like it's just like a hub. It's not like,
yeah.
I mean, it's obviously like a camp, but like it feels more like a meeting ground than.
And most of them don't even train there. They just that's their base.
Oh,
But like
really?
occasionally, yes, they
See that
do. But
that's kind of goofy to me. Like,
they have their own teams within that. Like some of them, yes, they work with certain coaches there and certain teams, but some of them branch out and they're underneath the banner of this, but they go to other gyms or they train at home or they do their own thing with their team and then they're branched under that. I've seen it in some of these bigger gyms here in San Antonio. Like,
mm,
um, for instance, have you heard of Brazilian Top Team here?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they they have big Brazilian Top Team, but they also are affiliated with a bunch of smaller gyms. And so some of those fighters come and fight underneath that banner of Brazilian Top Team because it has a bigger name.
Gotcha. Okay,
So
that makes
I'm
sense.
I'm sure big gyms like that do the same thing.
Yeah.
They allow them access to the gym and training facilities and everything else. Just use our name when you're fighting.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Um,
But
I did.
I do there, but it is hard to train like
That's gotta be
hundreds of
tough.
people that coming in. Yeah,
Yeah, like especially if you're, and I guess like we kind of saw like with Dustin Poirier and like Gamrot and like all them over at American Top Team, like you had a small like little group together and like help each other train and stuff like that. Like that's a bit different, kind of like what you're saying, like the own groups within the big group. But again, the problem like I feel like if I'm coming up to the UFC, like I want to go there maybe to like get some advice, but like I don't know if I necessarily
yeah.
like want to train there because I'm not going to get the attention probably that I need.
Well, and how many times are you going to get paired up to fight against someone who's in your gym also?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
exactly.
there's so many names there. Like,
Yeah. I mean, thankfully we
and you
have
really want to.
some people like Pantoja and what's his name? Just won this past weekend, or the I guess weekend before that. Is it Haraguchi? Haraguchi? He just came back to the UFC.
Yeah,
Oh, I gotta look it up real quick. It's gonna drive me crazy. But him and Pantoja are teammates over at American Top Team, and he was all like, "I don't care if we're teammates and stuff like that." And Pantoja's the same way. Like, I don't care if we're teammates. Like, we just want to fight. You see who's the best and stuff like that. It's nothing personal.
or
And
Gucci.
yeah, 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 yeah. And and that's how it should be. Like, and I think a lot of these fighters should have that same mentality. And I'm surprised they're not sensitive enough to where they're not accepting these fights. Honestly. But anyways, real quick before we talk
Yeah, yeah.
about Vulcan Lopez too, I did have a question for you. So our buddy Jared, who was actually in our watch party last time, Jeep, he had a theory about why Derek Lewis took his shorts off, and it was because he was protesting Reebok rather than actually saying his balls was hot. And I was like, that's fair. That's a fair point to look at that, considering that wasn't that far into Reebok, and
Yeah.
the fire pay was obviously significantly less with all those sponsorships being gone. So real quick, he asked me to ask you this to get your thoughts on it. So I kind of agree with him. I could definitely like see that 100%. But what are your thoughts?
I could see that. I never thought of that, but I could see that because why else
Yeah,
in the
why
world
else?
would you take off your? That's your first thought is to
Yes.
take off your pants after
Yeah.
winning.
Well, like, and
I mean,
I told him I was like, maybe he was just so hyped up and like didn't know what to do. But I was
yeah,
like, how many times do we really see a guy like that's the first thing they go for is to take off their fucking shorts? Like,
yeah.
I don't
I
know,
mean,
man.
I I never thought about that, but
That's a
I
good
mean,
point.
it does make sense. It is a good point. I don't know. I for sure would have. I thought always like he was just hyped up and just took them off and then was like, oh fuck, what did I do?
Yeah. Like spur of the moment, like got to make up some fucking excuse or
Yeah,
some shit. But
but I mean that makes sense
it's a fair theory, very fair.
because he was around for a while when the UFC. I
Yeah.
mean, they still had all the patches and they were getting all that money, and then Reebok comes along and they're like, nah, none of that.
I wonder if he ever got in trouble for that. You know what I mean? Like just for, I mean, obviously he never really said anything. So like, what could you really get in trouble for? But and it's not like he hasn't done it again.
I don't know if Reebok is coming at him like that. And then the UFC,
Yeah.
you know, Dana doesn't give a
Yeah.
shit. I mean, Derek Lewis, every time he wins now, he throws his cup into the stands.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. No, he's just a marketing machine for the UFC, pretty much.
and whoever those fans are catching that, y'all are gross.
Oh, that's too much, man. Like, what are we doing, man? I'll catch some shorts. I'll catch a t-shirt. I'll catch a hat. Fuck it, maybe a mouthpiece. But we're talking a cup, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't want another man's junk fucking touching something that I'm
Next up,
touching. Like, I'm good, dude. That's crazy work.
yeah.
Oh, that's crazy work.
Next
Speaking,
thing you know, people are going to be taking a shoey out of it.
oh, all right. Before I fucking throw up. God damn. I did almost throw up though to this announcement of Vulcan Lopez 2 because
Yeah.
what the fuck are we
I
doing? What the fuck are we doing?
I don't I don't understand that at all. We just saw that and it wasn't as competitive as people try to make it out to be, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like,
same. Like that was a clear 49-46 for me. The only round
yeah,
he won was the one that he dropped him in. That was it.
and they're trying to make it seem, and I guess it's because it was what the fifth round that he kind of started turning it up, if I remember correctly.
But like he wasn't
When
even
Loki,
turning it up. Like he was fucking trying to get Volk to like engage with him.
yeah,
Like, and Volk was
it
all
was just
like,
a last ditch effort.
yeah,
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 and it was that whole fight was a clear Volkanovski win to me, and so going back and scheduling this, I just don't get it. Like that's especially when you have a guy who's undefeated and coming off one of the biggest knockouts of the year, and you're not going to give it to him.
yeah.
You're not. You're not going to follow up that hype, and you're going to go put. And it's not like he didn't. It's not like he turned down that fight because he's like, "What the fuck?" I saw him tweet like,
Yeah.
"Okay,
No, he was egging for it. I mean, even after the Pico fight, and like, again, I'm with you, and I think damn near almost every other real fan of MMA understands that he's the rightful contender, besides Evloev. But Evloev has his issues with injuries and pulling out of fights, so I mean that eliminates him from that. But you're really left with one guy, and that's Murphy. Like, how do you not book it against him? And if you're worried about the marketing for that, that's your fucking job as a promotion to market, not these
yeah,
fighters. And like, I think now saying this has been a big piece of exposure for the UFC to show on how much they're lacking really in their marketing and how much they depend on their stars to market for them or market even themselves.
you're lacking so bad." Like me and you said before we started recording, like
Yeah,
we forget every time there's a pay per view, and we're like week of, we're like, "Oh shit."
yeah,
Almost forgot because there's nothing happening. It's the fighters going on other interviews and marketing themselves. And when you start seeing them being relevant on TikTok and these other outlets, then you're like, oh yeah, it is fight week. But other than that, you would not know. You don't see
yeah.
it anywhere.
No, I mean like I'm
And
on I'm on X and stuff like that like pretty much all day, and even then like once fight week starts we're like, "Oh shit, okay, it's this fight week. Like, let's go." You know what
yeah,
I mean? And like now we can kind of start really getting into it, but like I'm with you, dude. It the marketing that the UFC has not had within the past probably since everyone started getting back to normal after COVID.
yeah,
I think that's pretty much like they gave it everything they could in COVID, and then just said,
yeah,
"Oh my god, okay, we got to give ourselves a break."
yeah.
Why? You guys were doing just fucking fine.
And not only that, like during COVID, they were the only sport to be open. They pioneered this whole sporting world to start joining. The NBA soon after Fight Island started going and doing a bubble, and the NFL started figuring out a way. And so the UFC was first, and other sports started to follow. Everyone's eyes were on the UFC. The UFC gained massive fan base after COVID, and they were booking badass fight after badass
Yeah, they
fight.
were.
They were gaining a lot of fans, a lot of exposure, marketing a shit ton, and the product was really good for a year and a half, 2 years, and then it just felt like fuck it, like
Yeah,
we don't care.
no,
Like
exactly that. Like honestly, it was those two words that I'm sure Dana said to the marketing team. Dana, what do you want to do next? Fuck it. It's like,
yeah,
what do you
the machine will
mean?
run itself, and
Yeah,
it's like
like I think that he thinks that the UFC got to a spot to where it's somehow the size or the comparison size of a fan base or popularity of like the NFL or NBA to where it can just carry its own hype. That's it's fighting, bro. You have to put some sort of hype behind it. Like otherwise, people just aren't getting excited about it because they're not going to go. They're not going to know what to get excited about,
yeah.
and that's the
And
problem.
I feel like it started when he started doing his ventures and other business
Hmm.
aspects and slap fighting and all that, and just worrying about other stuff other than the UFC because he was all in on the UFC for a while, and like he's been that way throughout his whole career. But I feel like around COVID time he really picked it up. But like there was a solid stretch for like 4 to 5 years when they were gunning for before they had ESPN, and then they got ESPN, and then around Fight Island time, like they were gunning to be the best sports organization and really pioneer the UFC and mixed martial arts to be even bigger than what they did to start, especially with Bellator and PFL as competitors. They try to really be the best product. And I feel like here recently in the past year or two, they just really haven't been pushing that agenda. And they've just been kind of like, oh, Bellator went bankrupt. We ain't got to try anymore.
Yeah.
Bellator will never compete. So we'll just keep doing this because people will keep tuning in. And it not only the marketing stuff, but the matchmaking as well. And I forget who it was that I was listening to, but they said that it was the UFC matchmakers are really tone deaf to what
Yeah.
um, the fans want and the fights that should be made, and they're just kind of making fights that they think make sense or something, and it truly doesn't. And now the fans are left with like why, and with no explanation or no real understanding of why some of these fights were made, like Volkanovski and Lopez. And then I saw that same person. They said that the problem is you have a monopoly under Dana White who runs everything, right? So his word is the last word on everything. Where it should be someone who controls the rankings, and then someone who controls like all the marketing and campaigning and everything else. And it shouldn't be the same person, because then you have this monopoly like Dana White, who does he have the best interest of the UFC right now? Is he really pushing like what everyone wants, or is he just like, this is my word, this is what I'm going to do, and y'all are just going to have to deal with it? Because here recently, that's kind of what we're seeing.
No, 100%. I mean, it's all about the views. And again, I understand on capitalizing the popularity of certain fighters like Lopez and stuff, but like you could still make great fights with that dude. Like you don't have to
Yeah,
use him and Volk. Like you don't have to give him a title shot just because he's popular. You don't. Like,
yeah,
I
because
understand the Silva win's a very great win. It's a great win. You know what I mean? But again, I think looking back at that performance, it wasn't the cleanest and it wasn't the greatest. It wasn't. I mean, the first round was super dominant. Don't get me wrong. It was a beautiful round by Lopez to get him down on the ground and just absolutely dominate on the ground. But you saw in the stand up, I mean, once Lopez couldn't take him down, like he was not looking hot at all. And
yeah,
it looked exactly the same as it did in the first Volk fight, to where it was just that jab, that straight, and a hook. That's all it fucking
yeah,
took. That's all it fucking took. And I'm hoping Lopez comes in with a better game plan and better head movement, because I don't know if it's just him relying on his chin so much, but something's got to change with his game plan, because at some point he's going to get cracked really hard. And whether he fights Silva again or whether he fights some other really hard hitting featherweight, or even just gets hits perfectly by Volk, maybe, it could put him down. But I don't know, man. I just again, I think going back to it should have been Murphy and
yeah.
no one else.
I think it should have been Murphy because, and yes, Movsar is undefeated and he's up there at the top, but I feel like he's kind of,
He's been pulling out too much recently.
yeah, he's not taken advantage of that opportunity and not stayed active. And we've seen how that goes again with
Yeah.
guys like Saryukin. And these guys, I think they try to leverage themselves too much, and it never works because, yes, if it were any other sport organization, like you hold out, you get a better contract, whatever, right? But you go back to the monopoly of Dana White and you don't do what Dana White says, okay, I got last say, so you're not going to get this fight. You're
Yeah.
not going to get what you want because you're trying to big dick me. I'm going to big dick you
Yeah.
back.
I'm always going to
And
have the bigger dick. Like,
yeah. And so I think these guys try to over leverage themselves. Whereas if they were to fight and keep that hype going and be undeniable to the fan base, then sometimes, Dana can only have so much say.
yeah.
But I think Murphy should have been next. And I would have loved to have seen a Diego Lopez Mobsar rematch.
Yeah, I think that
Or
would have been the perfect move for all four of those people. And
or
then
Yair and Lopez because
where
they
the
already
fuck is
have bad
Yair,
blood.
dude? Like, what is
I don't
Yair
know.
doing?
I don't know. But they already have bad blood, so I think that would have been an entertaining fight in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean
But I
they should
think
have done that for Noche.
yeah, that I think that was the plan, but I think
Something's up with Yair.
Yair. got hurt or something.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's what it is then. Maybe he's just dealing with a bunch of injuries right now. But I mean, even if he's dealing with a bunch of injuries, that's not good for him, especially at his age and in the way he relies on his explosiveness and athleticism. Like, you're gonna have a tough time coming back, especially if those injuries are hindering that. But
I, I think those would have been the fights to make with Lopez, not this rematch, because I think this rematch with Volkanovski is gross. It's
yeah,
not a good fight.
yeah,
I don't want to see it again because I wasn't entertained the first time. I don't know what everyone was watching where they were entertained,
yeah.
but
I mean, I don't
I
know, man. I
wasn't.
mean, stuff like that, it makes me question. I'm like, am I out of like am I out of the loop with something? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
am I not seeing something here? Because, like, again, I thought it was a clear 49-46. The only times like, and don't get me wrong, like during the whole fight, like I was pretty. I guess during the first two rounds, I was like, okay, like this could go south really fucking quick, for Volk. But once you kind of saw him like, okay,
get
like I got that
comfortable.
jab and I got that range, like, and I see what he's throwing because Diego doesn't throw a whole lot. That's different, and so it's kind of like, okay, like I can game plan around this mid fight and not have to really worry about it, just not get hit super hard, super
Yeah,
clean. But
I think the fact that it was so recent, like it
yeah,
wasn't that competitive, and it was so recent.
yeah,
It's
there's
not something I want.
there's no reason Volk should be fighting him back to back.
No, not at
Like that's
all.
insane.
Like, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I
but thankfully
yeah
Pantoja's getting his new contender this Saturday, fighting Joshua
yeah
Van, the young buck. I'm not sure if you saw that Ariel Helwani interview. I kind of just like saw some highlights of it and stuff. But one thing
yeah.
that he really pointed out was that he doesn't really get nervous until like the week of, and he said he's kind of feeling the same thing like right now, not really feeling the nerves yet and stuff like that. He says he's kind of expecting it like Wednesday, Thursday, maybe. Um, Probably towards the end of that weight cut, like really going like, oh shit, like I'm actually getting ready for this. you know,
Yeah.
um, uh, that's pretty interesting to me. I mean, even as a young guy, like you would think that he has probably a lot more energy and a lot more nerves, maybe, especially going to a title fight this early on. But yeah, what do you thought? What are your thoughts on like him kind of not being nervous necessarily until like a couple of days before?
I don't know. Um, I don't know. I
It's interesting. Like,
it could be it could be a good thing,
yeah.
but my first reaction is it's not.
Hmm.
My first reaction is like you should be a little more nervous because sometimes those nerves are good because they let you know like, hey, you're going against
Yeah.
a bad motherfucker. Like you're going
Yeah.
against like Pantoja who is running through that division. He's not just another opponent. So sometimes those nerves are good to have because I mean it gets you more ready and some I don't want him to be too comfortable going in there against a guy like Pantoja or being so confident that he doesn't have the nerves because sometimes that overconfidence can be a killer. But sometimes not having nerves helps you fight a little more clear. You don't have that adrenaline dump. But I think he gets hit with nerves.
Yeah. I
Before. I mean, he's so young.
yeah, see like
He's
that's
never been in a position like this.
like this is huge, dude. Like you're pretty much fighting the flyweight goat at this point, especially with the way
Yeah,
Pantoja's been going through the division like you just said. I mean, it's tough to kind of deny that. And so for Van to be like, "Oh fuck, like I got to go up against an animal like that." I mean, someone who just puts on the pressure the way he does, who just
yeah,
is nonstop and just relentless. And I mean, Van just hasn't seen anything like that yet.
yeah,
I understand he had that loss against Johnson and has come back really well from that and has faced adversity a couple more times in those fights. But those are striking adversities, dude. Well, once Pantoja gets your back, I'm honestly calling
he's
it
a
a wrap. like that's
yeah,
it.
he's a wet blanket.
Yeah,
Like
it's gonna be. I could really see it being like the Alex Perez fight that Pantoja had, to where he legit just backpacks him and chokes him out. Like I could
yeah,
easily
I
see that.
I see I see it being a submission, and that's what I thought at first when this fight was booked. That Van has great stand up. He's fast. Um, but Pantoja's so strong,
Yeah.
and he has that experience. He's been in there with guys just like that before. He's going to get you down, and I think some of the inexperience that Van brings, because he moved up pretty fast
Yeah.
off the hype.
Yeah.
Because flyweight doesn't people either. Um, but I think Pantoja with the experience and with that grappling edge gets him down and gets him down quick. I don't think he waits too long on the feet to get him down. I don't think he's going to try and stand and prove anything. I think Pantoja just goes in there, gets him down, gets it done. Probably round 2.
Yeah. I'm thinking round 2 at the latest. Like, if it goes past round 2, it'll be interesting to see on how Van handles even just like that much pressure early on, and then having 15 more minutes possibly to go. Like that could be really interesting. But he's got good cardio though. Like I'm not too worried about it. But again, it's just handling that pace like right off the bat,
Yeah.
man. Like, and you got to be ready for that takedown. You got to be ready for the submissions. You can't just be like, all right, I'm ready. He's ready to go. I'm ready to go. We're both gonna stand and bang. Like, nah, dude, he's ready to implement
Yeah.
that game plan no matter fucking what. Good luck,
And
buddy.
then, like I said, like he may not feel the nerves right now, but when that, even if he doesn't feel the nerves until the walk, when you get that adrenaline going, and then you got a guy like Pantoja who just is on you like a wet blanket. He gets you down, he controls you, and makes you use that cardio, and you have that adrenaline jump or dump, and then you have a guy like that who's on top of you and who doesn't stop. I think that's where the problem happens, because a guy in his first title fight, you're gonna have that adrenaline, and it's gonna dump. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
gonna
mean,
happen.
oh, I mean, because like unless you're facing someone like let's say John Jones, who like actually builds up throughout the fight and stuff like that, or um, I can't think of really any other champions that are kind of like that build up through a fight.
Or just have had that experience of
Yeah,
being in those bigger fights, because Van hasn't been in some of those bigger moments and those bigger fights. So this is still all kind of new to him. His biggest fight was that Royval fight,
yeah,
and that was his biggest by a long shot.
yeah, yeah.
And
Because
so this is a
I mean,
bigger step up and a spotlight.
the Noche card was, I think that was good for him to get that kind of exposure and like kind of understand like that kind of an event and that feeling of an event. But title fights are different, man. I mean,
Especially when you're the headline.
yeah, dude. Well, co-main.
Well, co-main,
Yeah, yeah,
co-main.
yeah.
Sorry.
But I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
but I
yeah,
mean, still, your fucking 5 round title fight against Pantoja, like
yeah,
that's insane, man. That's
yeah.
insane.
It spotlight's on you. It's a little bit different than being just on the main card.
Yeah,
It's a whole different level. I mean, going in, and you got to think too. These fighters, when they're in a title fight week, have to do a lot of media that they're not used to. Also,
yeah,
so how much does that play into it? Because guys that have been there a while, Pantoja, he knows what the week's like. That's all new to Van.
yeah. Because I think even like during the Royval fight week, like he wasn't getting a crazy amount. It was cool that he was stepping in short notice and that Royval accepted it and all this stuff. But like again, like these are going to be a lot heavier questions probably. There's going to be a lot more on your mind heading into this probably. And yeah, it's going to be a lot come fight night and again, Young Bucks usually don't do too well under that kind of pressure. Who knows? He may be just one of the few that is able to break away.
Yeah,
And I mean, if he beats Pantoja, that'll be huge.
insane.
That'd be insane.
It'd be
I'll
insane.
take a lap around my fucking neighborhood. I mean, because
Yeah.
I mean that's got to be one of the biggest. Personally, that's got to be like a really big upset. Like in my eyes, like I don't think it's like one of the biggest, but it's definitely a big one.
I I agree. I don't see it happening, but if he does,
Good for
it'd be
him.
fun.
Yeah,
Stuff fresh.
yeah,
But I just think it's, and when it first was booked, I said it. I think it's too fast to ask for a young guy like Van to step in and fight one of the greatest of the division
yeah,
and one of the best pound for pound fighters.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see how he does.
Because
It'll be
he
interesting.
jumped from like unranked to like 11th or something to
Yeah,
like to
to
number
one.
one contender in 3 fights. And I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, that was fast.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, props to Royval for taking that fight. He really didn't have to,
Yeah.
especially someone as dangerous as Van, because like that's a bad style for him. That's not a
Yeah.
great matchup. And so, yeah, for Royval to put his rank on the line like that was kind of insane. But
It was kind of, looking back, kind of dumb. But
super dumb. But at the same time, I am glad that we are getting someone new in the title picture rather than
yeah,
because I mean he's about the same spot as Marab's in, to where there's just going to be nothing but rematches now.
I know. And then who knows what happens later on this year or this next year or is it, when is that fight?
Which
Oh,
one?
no, it's on this
Yeah,
card.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
on
yeah.
this
This
card.
weekend. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Moreno and Tyra. I forgot it was on this
Yeah,
card.
yeah. That's a good
And,
one.
and I mean, Moreno's already fought Pantoja. So if he wins, that's another rematch that happens. But Tyra keeps it fresh. But even still, I don't know if Tyra has what it takes to face someone like Pantoja.
Nah, I think the grappling would be great. But I feel like that's just more of a cardio fight.
And
In my
I
opinion.
don't know. I don't know if it's that I'm a Moreno fan after his whole his hype thing when he was the champion.
Mm-hmm.
I think Moreno wins this fight. I think it's very winnable.
Yeah, I think it's very possible for sure. This is to me a very 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 50-50 fight because
Yeah,
I mean because Tyra did very well against Royval. I mean I thought he won that fight personally, but it could have gone either way. I thought he won it though, but I think for him to go up against Moreno is a really good spot for him to be in, and especially if he beats Moreno, I mean
I know.
he's right there ready for Pantoja.
Just feel like
I do feel like the Pantoja fight would be closer than this Moreno fight would be or could be. Uh, I feel like this Moreno fight's harder for Tyra is what I should say.
I just wish we saw Moreno more active. I feel like
Yeah, he's really dropped down in activity for sure.
I feel like after his whole title thing, and then
Well, the Fiki fights just took so much out of him.
it was so entertaining, and it was what, 3 fights, almost four or something
They
like
did
that.
4.
They did four, so yeah, they did four,
Yeah.
and then after that, it was just like, okay, I lost the title. I'm just gonna kind of sit back now,
Well, he lost
and
to Royval pretty bad. Remember that?
yeah. No, I barely remember that,
Yeah,
dude. See,
it was
that's the
that was
whole-
bad. Like it was a really bad performance for Moreno and
oh, it says split decision, so
really,
yeah.
I don't remember that being a split. That's kind of
So
crazy.
he split with Pantoja, and then he split with Royval, and then he beat Albazi, beat Urseg, which he beat Urseg pretty
Poor
handedly,
Urseg,
I
dude.
thought.
That dude had to go through a ringer real quick.
I just I don't know. I would love to see Moreno get back into that, but I don't know if he's past that prime too.
This weekend will definitely tell a lot in terms of like where he's at, and because I think like Tyra's got plenty of time. Even if he loses this one, like it's not the biggest deal in the world. Like you're losing to one of the greatest flyweights, skill for skill
I
wise, for
agree.
sure.
I
And
agree.
so it's kind of like you can't blame yourself too much for that. Like I'm sure he obviously thinks he's up there, and I do too. Like I think he's definitely a top contender in that division. But yeah, Moreno's a tough matchup for him, man. Really
I
tough.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I think that'll be a fun one. That's one of my this this whole this whole main card I'm pretty interested in.
It's a good card.
Except for this Cejudo and Talbot fight. I don't know
Yeah, who the
who
fuck?
booked that. That talk about left field fights.
Yeah.
From what I saw, that it was it um Henry Cejudo was the one that asked for this.
Really?
I, yeah.
See,
I
and my thought process behind that already is that he thinks that he could do what Barcelos did. And to be fair, that's very plausible. I understand that because Talbot did look, he still looked kind of the same in his last fight. He didn't look like super improved, I would say. I would say his takedown defense was a bit better, but that was mainly just because he was able to shoot his hips back a lot more, and it wasn't really necessarily like a skill thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I could see Henry getting a couple takedowns. I just think Talbot's too big, though. I think it's going to be a
Yeah,
size thing.
yeah, because I think I saw Talbot. Someone asked Talbot how this fight happened, and he said that Talbot was asking to fight other fighters ahead of him, and no one wanted to do it. And
I
then
could see that.
Cejudo was like, "I'll do it," and he
Yeah,
was
I
like,
mean,
well, "Okay."
like, why not? Like, if you're Cejudo, I guess, because like no one above him is gonna want to fight him, anyways. Like, there's no point in fighting him at this point.
I feel like this is I feel like this is Henry's like Hail Mary to try and get back into
Yeah,
the picture.
yeah, amen to that. It's tough. I mean, if you're Cejudo, again, like you really thought that that whole retirement thing was gonna work out a different way, and
If he would have stayed retired,
if he just didn't retire, I mean, that's what pisses me off is that he didn't retire. And for okay, I will say for Talbot to be asking to fight above Henry Cejudo is kind of stupid, but I do think that he could have fought someone like Kyler Phillips. I think him and Phillips would be fucking fun, dude. That'd be a really fun
yeah,
fucking fight. But Cejudo's definitely the easiest matchup for him up there right now.
yeah, I think so.
Even McGee would be pretty fun against Talbot, I think.
Yeah, I think he just needed to fight someone in the rankings,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I was kind of surprised they didn't do the Rob Font route since they've been doing that.
Rob Font, dude, I can't believe he's still ranked.
I know. Yeah, well, he lost his last one. I think that was the first time he actually lost to a prospect because he was beating all of them, and then
Yeah, he lost to
that's
Martinez.
right. Yeah, but beat
He beat Matsumoto, beat Phillips.
lost to Figgy
He
here in
lost
San
to
Antonio.
he lost to Sanhagen, beat Yanez.
Yeah, I mean he's just a prospect killer.
Yeah,
Buddy. Um,
it's yeah, I think that's where he's at in his career.
yeah, just
But
prospect guy.
yeah, I don't know what to expect out of this Talbot Henry fight. It was kind of weird matchmaking, but who knows? Maybe it'll be fun. Maybe if Cejudo loses, he retires. I don't know. If he beats Talbot, holy shit! But
I think it's closer. I think there's more of a chance of Henry beating him than people are giving him. Um, I kind of want to lean like a 60-40 sort of deal. Like I think again, Talbot's size and power could be a bit too much for someone like Cejudo. And I mean, again though, I mean Cejudo's got that experience, man. He's seen some shit,
yeah,
and Talbot's still young. I mean, and he's going up against an Olympic level wrestler, and was already having trouble against someone like Barcelos. Like, I think it's very possible that Henry gets us to the ground and could just smother him for 15 minutes. Um, but again, dude, I just think that Talbot's going to be ready this time.
I wonder. I wonder. I'm curious about what like the size difference will be there.
Yeah, I want to see a face off. Well, I guess the problem with the fucking face off is because like half these guys wear fucking platforms. Because like I was falling for Wei Li and Valentina being damn near the same size, and then they got in the octagon.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I was like, I didn't pick
yeah,
this.
yeah. And I don't know, man. I just always feel like Cejudo is way undersized
Yeah,
against anyone he's fighting, and in my eyes, Talbot is way bigger than him. But it might not be that big of a. He might Cejudo might have the weight stockier wrestling wise, which might help him. But we'll see.
yeah. I'm really curious to see on how. I guess how soon. Oh my god, how soon Henry's going to shoot on Talbot, and then also
Oh,
again if Talbot's even going to be able to defend, because if those are
yeah,
Olympic level takedowns, and not very
yeah,
many people can even replicate that for training, let alone you getting ready for that shit in an actual full speed fight. Like that's gonna be
yeah.
tough
And I don't know if they're going to be the same Olympic style takedowns, but
for sure. I mean,
that
he
were
definitely got that age and that wear and tear on him and stuff for sure. But I mean,
I
technique is technique, man.
I could see Cejudo pulling out like what kind of like what Kamaru Usman did when he faced
Yeah, Buckley.
yeah, Buckley,
Yeah,
and just kind of grinding him out that way. I could see it similar,
yeah. That's
bringing that wrestling.
the only way I'm leaning towards Cejudo though. Like if I had to pick Cejudo, that would be the way I'm picking him to win as a
Yeah,
decision. Like
100%.
he's not. I don't think he's gonna be able to sub him. I don't think he's gonna be able to obviously knock him out. If he
No.
fucking knocks out Talbot somehow in stand up, like I'm gonna legit assume that we're in a goddamn simulation. There's no way we're not if that happens. Like
No, that ain't happening. I was so surprised when he did that to TJ. I don't see it happening here.
well, and again, like that was only happening because of the weight cut TJ had to go through. Like
Yeah,
like
TJ was doing too
yeah, like
much.
Cejudo already had fucking half that battle won with trying to knock him out.
Yeah.
That weight cut did half the job for him.
Um. Okay. Before we get to that main event, last opener to the main card,
Hmm.
we got Gustav versus
Oh yeah,
Blahovic.
that's right. Okay, I need to get your thoughts on that real quick because I'm having a hard time picking someone in this one, and I don't know if it's just my lack of awareness of Guskov. I've seen him fight before, but I don't know.
I
I have a tendency to go towards Jan a lot, and it's fucked me up quite a bit recently.
I think this is Guskov's fight to win. Um, I I don't think Jan is the same Jan when he was a champion. He's kind of on a losing streak here. I believe
He just
he
recently lost to
lost to
Olberg.
Goldberg,
Yeah.
but that was a boring fight, and
He didn't do too bad in
he
that one
lost.
though. Like it was boring,
Yeah,
but like he was able to defend. And I think a lot of that has to do with Olberg being from the same camp Izzy's from, and so them just having a lot of the same techniques, more than likely that he was seeing. So I guess that's kind of one thing
yeah.
you could
But
chalk up for that.
before that, he hadn't fought since 2023 when he lost to Pereira,
That's
and
crazy.
then before that, it was 2022 when he beat Rakic. And that
Wait,
was his only fight.
yeah, he didn't
Or
really
and then he
beat
drawed with
Rockage.
Ankalaev that year too. So he really hasn't been crazy active as of recent. And
Well, he's
I
definitely had
just
those injuries.
yeah, and he's what 43 now, I think.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
So I think this is Guskov's fight to win. He's on a win streak. He's knocked out Krylov. He submitted I don't know who this Elikana dude is. He's knocked out Pauga, Span. Like he's been dominating his fights lately. He did have a
Yeah.
submission loss to Ozdemir, which
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about that. Wow.
which
Ozmir's been
I
looking
don't,
good
I don't
recently. Not gonna lie.
yeah, I don't see Jan pulling out any submissions. So I don't see a knockout here. I see it going to decision, someone, but I could see it not being an entertaining fight.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I
Yeah.
think I think Jan's power, his leg kicks, his his IQ, he knows how to stay out of danger, but also slow the other guys down. And I think that just recently, as he's gotten older, it just turns into more decisions. And I think that's what we see here. I don't think he has that Polish power anymore that he got his hype off of. And I see a decision here for Guskov.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Because yeah, I'm looking at it now. I didn't realize that Uzumir was his first fight in the UFC. And
Yeah.
so for I
So
mean for
that's
that
always a tough one.
that's a crazy ass first fight. I mean, that's that you're asking him to do Yuri shit.
Yeah. Uzdemir is like if there was ever like a gatekeeper of that weight, it's
Yeah.
always been Uzdemir. And I feel like Uzdemir's been around for so long.
Hmm. A lot
How long
longer than
has
people realize. Like, yeah,
how long has
let's
he been in the
see.
UFC?
Um, because I mean, he was fighting Cormier back then.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude.
and he was coming up
See,
before that. He was undefeated.
2017 is what I'm seeing right here.
Yeah, against
He's
St. Peru.
which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, St. Peru Sirkunov.
Yeah,
That's a
so
crazy
St.
throwback right there.
Well, him and St. Preux, St. Preux was his first fight in the UFC in 2017, February. So it's been 8 years,
Yeah. He fucking knocked out
and
Jimmy
he's fought.
Manua in 42 seconds.
Yeah, and
That's
he's fought the who's who's of the division. Like holy shit, look at his resume.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you got Cormier right there.
Darkinov, Manua,
Reyes,
Cormier,
Latifi,
Smith, yeah,
Rakic,
Rakic, Prohavska,
Prohaska,
Ankalaev, Greg, Krylov, fucking
Gusmov.
Donnie Walker, Olberg, and Minifield. Like that's a fucking resume.
Yeah, dude. Definitely underrated in terms of like just entertainment value. Anyways, like his every fight he brings it. It's not like he doesn't just sit back and wait. A lot of the time, like because he hurt Yuri pretty bad in that fight. Not pretty bad, I
Yeah,
should say, but he definitely hurt him.
I don't,
And
I don't care what anyone says about his win loss record. Like
it's not that
he's
bad,
got,
anyways.
he's fought like the who's who. If you look at this, like he hasn't taken an easy fight his whole
Oh
career.
no, not at all.
Every one of these guys has been a contender for the title or was a champion.
I would really like to see him probably fight either Hill next or Roundtree.
Yeah,
Him
I
and
think that's a
Roundtree would be
guy.
insane.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
That's a good
That's
one.
just a guy who doesn't get the flowers he deserves. I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think that loss to Cormier like really hurts him in the eyes of like a lot of hardcores. But again, I feel like you have to like start giving him that respect again for coming back the way he's coming back. And like
Yeah,
again, like you said, he's fighting fucking everybody. It's not like
yeah,
he's dodging. So I don't know. I mean, he could be pretty fun this next year coming up.
yeah. I hope so. But okay,
Yeah,
back to this card.
our main
So
event.
let's talk about main event. Yeah,
I guess the problem is that it's another rematch, but
yeah.
I don't know, man. I think he's just gonna go the same way it did first time. I, I just, I still,
I think
I don't think Jan's looked that great since the first Aljo fight.
I agree. I think I think it'll. I think Jan may make it a little more competitive just because he knows kind of what to expect. But I just foresee it being the same outcome because I feel like Marab just does Marab shit, and
Yeah,
I don't see anything in Jan's toolbox that is going to stop this right now. He doesn't he doesn't have that one shot power. He doesn't have that takedown defense. We saw it in their last fight. So I just think it's just going to be another one of those fights where Marab throws like fucking 20 takedowns in 2 rounds.
yeah, yeah. I could definitely see. The only thing that makes me hesitant that like it'll be I guess a closer fight maybe is that Marab's been getting so much better recently somehow, and finishing O'Malley with a sub, with a weird ass sub, not even just like a normal sub, and then for him to be rocking Corey the way he did, I think it's very possible he could finish Jan. I just think Jan's defense though could be still strong enough to where he's not quite there yet, but. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Jan's really looked good since the Aljo loss, or the Aljo
I
DQ.
agree.
And I don't know where it went though. I don't know if it was just like that one incident kind of giving him like that much less confidence. Like I feel like that couldn't be the case.
I don't know. I think he was a little too overhyped to begin with.
Really?
Like
See, because
I thought
I thought he was fucking good, man. Like coming and I don't get me wrong. I think looking back at the resume, like it's not the greatest list of names, especially like fucking retired already Faber. Like a great performance and stuff like that to like show off your skills and like especially against a name like that. But the issue with that is that you have hardcores that are like, yeah, but that's a Faber who's already been retired, came back, and like hasn't done any. And that was his second fight back since beating Ricky Simone. Like you're asking him to go against
Yeah.
Peter Yan. Like that's kind of insane.
Yeah,
Let me
I
see.
thought he was I thought he was good. I thought those Aljo fights were really good.
Hmm.
Um I just didn't I don't know, man. I just didn't see it. I think he definitely beat O'Malley though. Let's be honest there.
I definitely thought so too. Even as an O'Malley fan, um, I was like kind of like, oh, I was like, that's not going to be good. Um, because definitely seeing the reactions after that, I was, I think everyone was kind of like, yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, the Jose fight I thought was a really good win for him. Especially the way he was winning that fight and just performing in that fight. Like, what a dominant performance. And then, but I mean, again, he got that title shot like off of beating Faber, which is
Yeah.
insane looking back at that. Like, going up to his title run, he beat, uh, I always forget how to say this guy's name, Teruto Ishihara, and then Jin Susun, and then Douglas Silva de Andrade, John Dodson, Jimmy Rivera, Uriah Faber, and then it was Jose. And then lost a DQ in his first title defense. And then beat Corey for an interim, and then lost it again against Aljo.
Yeah.
That's crazy. To me, I could have
I don't know.
sworn he defended like at least like twice. I don't know why.
No,
Like,
and I feel like everyone treats him as if like he was like a dominant bantamweight champion.
yeah,
And it was like, I mean, yes and no, but he had a good little run, but he was only champion for what, one defense?
no, like the first Aljo DQ was his first defense.
Well, yeah, and then he lost that, and then okay, yeah, yeah. So he lost it there, and then he came back and fought Aljo again and lost, right?
No, no,
Or
no. So,
no?
so it was the DQ and then the Corey interim belt.
Oh,
Yeah, and then the
yeah,
Aljo lost again.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, yep, that's correct.
I mean, he looked good
So
against Corey, but to me, Corey's been kind of like the cowboy of our generation, to where he just kind of chokes in the big spotlight. It's just
yeah,
one of
man,
those things. It happens.
he's been so close so many
I
times.
know.
And
Uh,
I always thought Corey would eventually get over that hump,
Same.
but
Especially with this last one, I was thinking for some reason, like this may just be me being a fucking Corey fan, but like, I was like, maybe Marab is the fucking guy like for him to get over, but like, I mean, that's tough for anyone to fucking beat Marab at this point. And
back in the day, I remember there were two fighters that I was like, they're going to be the dark horse of the division and be champ. It was Corey, and it was fuck. Why did his name just leave my fucking brain? I swear his name fucking Dubronx.
oh,
Oliveira.
oh yeah, yeah,
Back
yeah.
when Oliveira was, he was like losing, but then he started coming back on his little streak.
And what, like
I was like, he'll
featherweight
be a
or
champion. No, no, no. At
oh, like
lightweight, when
recently?
he was first starting in lightweight, and
Oh, oh,
I was like that. He has the dark horse to be like, if Habib wasn't there, he could be champ, and then eventually Habib left, and
yeah,
he
he was
came on to
champ.
be champ, and
Yeah,
then Islam came and kind of ruined that.
yeah. That was fun seeing Dubronx though, because like I wasn't really aware of him until the Kevin Lee fight, and
No, dude,
yeah,
was a
then
big.
I feel like a piece of shit for fucking missing out on that guy's like come up, because what a come up.
I was a big Oliveira fan. In his earlier lightweight run, but
He's been a lot of fun, man. Like,
yeah,
thank God that guy
yeah,
became champion, because that division was really honestly looking like it was going to struggle after
I agree.
Habib left.
and he looked like he was going to be that next guy. Imagine if he would have beaten Islam, but it's so crazy that he's still up at the top.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and again, even the Arman fight, UFC 300, that was fucking razor thin. Like that could have gone either way. Um, and then you have him. Who the fuck did he fight just recently? I just looked at it. Um,
Oh, he fought Gamrot.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was really impressive. Honestly, I was
Yeah,
expecting a
I
lot
wasn't.
more out of Gamrot, but
I wasn't expecting sub that quick
yeah,
either.
especially a
It's
sub. I
crazy.
was expecting him to get at least knocked down, maybe TKO or some shit. But
But
yeah, I mean,
is.
I don't know, man. Oliveira's gonna be interesting to kind of see where he even goes next because, well, I guess they're probably looking at the Holloway fight, right?
Yeah, that's what I saw, but I don't know if Holloway.
I think they said they were probably gonna do that like second quarter.
Yeah, something. Holloway got injured or
I
something.
think so.
But I mean, dude,
I think Holloway's gonna
give
retire
Oliveira
soon.
another title shot. Fuck it.
It's honestly, why not, dude?
If
Um,
Ilya's sitting out, dude, over Gaethje, he deserves it. Um
over Patty.
over Patty for sure. Patty is just I don't even know how Patty at was number 6. I don't know how he got thrown in there. But
Well, and the crazy thing too is that the Gamrot win that Oliveira has is there. It's both. It's better than both the Fazeev
yeah.
and Chandler win. Like you're telling me that Patty's getting a title shot off of a 2025 Michael Chandler? Come on,
And
bro.
before that a split decision that he shouldn't have won.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing? Wait, what was
Yeah, I
what was
mean,
before the
um, with Patty,
yeah, what was Patty's? Let's see, look at history real quick because it was Chandler. Oh, it was Green. That's right. And then
oh Green, and then before that was the Jared.
was no before that was Tony.
Oh, dude, I always forget he fought Tony.
Yeah. Well, and again,
Well,
like
it doesn't count. It
look at
doesn't count to me.
I mean, looking at these records, I mean, like you lost to Jared Gordon, you beat a Tony Ferguson, a decision. No, you couldn't even finish that
Anybody?
Tony, and then you finished Bobby
Yeah.
Green, who has zero ground game. Like, okay, big whoop.
And look at the Bobby Green that you're fighting.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, exactly.
that man's been getting fucking CT from everybody. And
Everybody.
then Tony Ferguson past 2022, I don't credit anyone with a win.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And
I don't.
I guess
I
like
think
the good news for Oliveira though is that if he does win, or not if Oliveira wins, if even if Gaethje or Patty wins, I guess he could definitely argue be like, I better win than both these fuckers. Like, what the fuck?
I would. I would love to see because we've seen Gaethje and him, but entertaining. I would be down for another rematch, but I would love to see that stylistic matchup of Patty and Oliveira.
Yeah,
But
I
I think,
I thought they were gonna do that fight before this.
yeah, I think Patty is very picky on who he's trying to fight and I don't blame him, but
I mean, if you're gonna pick someone to fight for against a title or for a title, like Gaethje's the guy. Like you're gonna do it because he has zero ground
because
game. He's already kind
yeah,
of halfway out the door. You know,
and you know what he's gonna do. He's gonna swing wild and give you opportunities.
yeah.
And
And Patty could easily counter even on the feet.
I think Oliveira is a nightmare for anybody because he has both stand up and he's good on the ground.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to fucking stand up either. Like he's
Unless you have that,
charging.
unless you have a crazy knockout power like Ilya, or you have that Dagestani wrestling where you just smother, you're not going to beat Oliveira
Yeah,
because he'll find a way to get it done.
yeah. I mean, I think like Arman probably has the best shot of beating him again, but that's fucking
I don't
Arman,
even know. And then Arman is getting snubbed, but
dude. Arman got fucked over bad.
that's to be honest, like back to sitting out. Like that's what you get.
Nah,
You
I know.
overplayed your hand,
Yeah,
and then you came in and you fought a Dan Hooker who doesn't have the name value that you think just
Yeah.
because he's what, ranked number 5? That's Dan Hooker of who hasn't fought anybody.
Yeah.
Like it.
The only thing I will defend Arman on is that I do think that like lightweight is such in a stagnant spot that like that was probably the
I agree.
only guy available for him.
I agree. I
And
agree.
but, I mean, besides like Oliveira, but again, like Oliveira probably wasn't ready. I mean, no one else was probably just ready in general besides because BSD wasn't going to do a quick turnaround like that,
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
you know. But that's
He
the
got
only thing because like again, Arman pulling out of the title fight. What the fuck are you doing, dude? And
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's the thing is like Hooker may have been the only guy, but again, you did it to yourself because
yeah,
not only did you pull out of the title fight, you then sat out for a year, 18 months, saying, I'll get the next one. And it's like, nah, dude, you could have fought one of these other guys in the meantime.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I would really like to see or like to be a fly on the wall for those conversations with the lightweight division. You know, like them talking to so and so trying to match make and stuff like that, and see who they're turning down, and see what the reasoning is and stuff. But
and then at the same time, Arman is like, he's not bringing that attention. He's not bringing
mhm,
the. He's not a name, a household name. I don't see anyone besides hardcores that are like, oh, he deserves it. I don't see anyone being like, I want to see Arman
yeah,
get a title fight because he's not bringing that. Everyone knows Patty. Everyone knows Gaethje. Everyone knows Oliveira. Arman is just he's the number one contender, but it no one he's not bringing entertainment value. He's not bringing the name. He's not relevant in household names like. And I think he needs to. If the UFC is not going to market him as the number one contender, he needs to market himself and figure out a way to get more relevant or be more entertaining in a sense.
yeah, yeah. And I think Patty ends up beating Gaethje, and I think they do Ilya and Patty at the White House.
Yeah,
I think that's
because
kind of the course like this is going.
dude, the fact that the number one contender over the number 5 guy got a submission win, and there was no hype or no like
Nothing.
anything about it, and that just goes to show like if the UFC is not going to do it, Armin, you just got a submission win. You need to make your call. You need to be more um, vocal on the mic. You need to make a statement. You need to do something to
Yeah.
get the fans on your side and get the UFC to be like, okay, this guy does deserve it. Because
I mean, again, him doing like dumb shit like headbutting Hooker, like just because
yeah,
Hooker tried to make him flinch. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, are you serious? Like, do you realize that? And I don't want to be that guy, but that was the same spot that Hooker started swelling up in, and that was the same spot
yeah,
that Hooker got hit with that knee. So who knows if like there was extra? I mean, it's a fucking headbutt. Like your head's pretty fucking
yeah,
hard. Like so,
yeah,
But anyways, yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Like where these Georgians, man, and like these Europeans sometimes just don't know how to market themselves, and it's just because they don't have the personality like a lot of UK guys do, like Patty, and even old UK guys like Bisbing and stuff like that. Like they all had personality and like fun personality,
yeah,
and then you have fucking. I mean, thankfully you're starting to see personality from Dagestan. I think like
yeah.
Islam's like starting to. He's been pretty funny for a couple of years now, I think, and
And before that, when he didn't have a big personality, like he wasn't as well hyped. No one really wanted to see him. And then he started getting that personality. He became undeniable, not only in the octagon, but like he started talking more English and getting on the mic and saying stuff and making himself more relevant. And I just don't think that Arman's doing that.
yeah, I mean, because even then, like even back when Islam was just starting up, like he was still trying to stick out. He was all like, "Give me fight against Brock Lesnar," you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Dude's like trying to like at least give some sort of humor here, like rather than just be one of those Dagestani like God wrestling, food, sleep, repeat. You know what I mean? Like it is what
yeah,
it is. But with that culture and yeah, thank God Islam actually has a personality because that would fucking
yeah.
blow if that whole camp just
And
had zero personality.
well, I think Habib like told him like you have to or you're not going to be big.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he did that.
Yeah, because
Um,
I do want to say that the lightweight division, while Habib was there, definitely kind of carried his stardom in a way for him to fight those bigger names and then be like, holy shit, like this guy's beating like all the big names, like what the fuck? And then, that leading into Islam being like the guy to actually look out for now compared to
yeah.
Patty, let's say, for example.
Okay. Last thing, or one of the last things, because it's getting late. I just wanted a couple more fights on this card that I like.
On this weekend's card?
Is the Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The head prelim fight, Grant Dawson versus Manuel Torres. I think that'll be a fun
Mm,
fight.
yes, sir.
Terrence McKinney and Chris Duncan. I think that fight's going to be fireworks. Any Terrence McKinney fight, sign me up to watch.
Yeah.
It's going to end in the first round somewhere. Um, and then
Oh,
Marvin
Vittori?
Vettori is Ferreira on the early prelims. Marvin Vettori dropping down a little bit. But another one is Jalen Turner back in action against Edson
Yes,
Barbosa.
sir.
I'm glad to see Jalen Turner back in. I hope that he has that motivation that he lost and that hunger. Um, and I think that's a fun matchup against Barbosa and a very winnable one against this version of Barbosa.
Yeah, definitely. I think Barbosa's kind of just gotten too chinny and too hesitant now because of his chin.
Yeah,
And Jalen definitely has that size advantage that he could use and
yeah.
and get a good win over Barbosa. But yeah, it's interesting kind of seeing Turner come back because again, you always kind of wonder how people come back after retirement. Um,
Especially when it's a mental thing. Like he
yeah,
just didn't have the hunger and that he didn't want to hurt people. That's why he retired because he didn't.
yeah.
I mean, you just know what he had
I
to do
wonder
to.
I wonder if he talked to somebody and then somehow they kind of got to the conclusion like Jalen, it's just a sport. Like people get hurt on in any sport. You're just you're just doing a sport that really inflicts a lot of damage and tries to hurt people. Like it's a sport though at the end of the day. And hopefully like that was something that got through to his head that you're not purposely doing it to like you're not going out in the street fucking trying to hurt people. You know what I mean? Like you're doing this as a sport.
I hope so because he's so talented
Hmm.
and he has all the tools to be in that championship mix. But he lost a couple close fights where he just kind of gave up,
Yeah.
and I think it was all a mental battle that he was dealing with. Like, why am I here? What am I doing? And hopefully he kind of fixed some of those issues.
Yeah.
Because if not, I mean, I don't see him going very far in the sport. But he has all the tools. I was very high on him when he was coming up, and then those losses, every single one of those losses he had, I felt like he just kind of quit on himself.
Yeah, and they weren't even necessarily like close losses. Sorry, I wouldn't say they were like bad losses. Like they were kind of close losses. Like the Hooker fight, for example, right? Like that one was pretty damn close. Um, Moicano,
That Bahamunda fight
he
was
had
a big
fucking
one.
Moicano, like
Yeah,
could have finished
yeah,
that one.
and that I think that was one where he quit on himself. The Bahamundes fight was another one.
Well, the Moicano one was right after the Bobby Green fight, and so
Yeah,
I think that was a lot of PTSD, probably still from what he had to kind of go through with that whole situation. That fucking ref is an idiot still, but
yeah, 100%.
yeah, yeah, that was
Um,
fucking crazy. I thought I was gonna see a murder live.
I know.
I was like, what?
Um,
I was like, ref, you could stop it. It's okay. Like, holy shit.
Other than that, that's all I have for the fights this weekend. But one last topic that I wanted to bring up
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
real quick before we get out of here was Tom Aspinall was doing an interview here recently saying that he's going to have surgery on his eyes, both of them, I believe. And he still has vision issues and whatnot. So turns out that those eye pokes were a lot worse than what everyone had thought. Um, I know I had kind of said I didn't know how serious they were, and it looked like this and that. But
See,
I mean, I hope everything's okay.
yeah, I do too, dude, because I was definitely on that same bus like you were. Even the other day, like I was literally the day before all that shit came out with those new reports and stuff that he brought out, and I was saying I was like, I really didn't mean to sound like a dick, but I was like, I don't know if like Tom's kind of playing this up a little bit and like looking for someone to be like, oh, okay, yeah, like he's right. You know what I mean? Because it's been kind of a little bit of time like since that's passed, and he still hasn't come out with anything since then. But I think with some of the other details that kind of came with that announcement that he made and all the information that he shared, it kind of took away those doubts that I had because going to a private healthcare that takes time, you know, and I'm sure the European system's completely different too with all that. Um, and then also with all the stuff that I just found within the report, you know, it's pretty damning, like to to see that and then still kind of have like some sort of doubt is just kind of insane. You know what I mean? Like it's just like that dude's
Yeah.
going through it for sure right now, and I texted Gene. I was like, if it wasn't gonna be John, it was gonna be gone. You know, so
Yeah.
like, it's super unfortunate for him. I hope that he doesn't have to get surgery. Um, but I guess that's what he said. That's what it's looking like for both eyes, apparently.
Yeah, for both eyes. And then he's pretty pissed at Dana's comments.
Yeah,
And he already has kind of a issue with the UFC and Dana from the whole John Jones situation and how all that was treated. So to be honest, I don't think we see Aspinall very much longer in the UFC unless some things get fixed with that relationship
yeah.
and if everything goes right with his eyes.
I really wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see him fight again in the UFC. And I only say that because of the eye situation, for one, because you can go in the boxing and not have to worry about getting poked in the eye. Uh, Two, because of the relationship that him and the UFC have at this moment. You know, it's not good. He wants to go do boxing and stuff like that at this point, make more money. Completely understandable. You know, I personally I don't think he's gonna do that good in boxing, but unless he's fighting, you know, some lower level guys. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, man, it's just super tough because again, as a fan, you want the sport to be as clean as possible, especially with something like fighting. And eye pokes have just been such a problem for such a long time at this point. Like
they really
it's
have, yeah.
annoying. And as a fan for fights, a fight like that, for a fight that I've been waiting so long for, and then just for it to be like, nah, first round eye poke, it's over. Fuck my life. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Like,
I
we
agree.
have to get this shit fixed. There's no way that there's not a solution for it.
It's yeah, I agree. Um,
But I,
especially for a fight like that, so hyped, and then
yeah,
now the heavyweight division is up in air again, and then Champ may not come back. Champ may not be the same. So
yeah. And I mean, hopefully this isn't even ruin his chances of boxing because like that would be a shame too for him if his vision was just fucked up forever now. And
I know he's gonna have to go get advice from Bisbing.
yeah,
What going on there.
yeah, no shit, dude. But yeah, I hopefully Tom recovers well, and if he does have surgery, hopefully that goes well and goes smoothly. But I did want to say real quick, if anyone did like not understand like what was in the medical records at all, Brian Suter on YouTube has a great breakdown of that. He does a lot of like medical injuries like during sports and stuff. So he kind of breaks down like all the wording in it because some of it I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And he did a great breakdown of that. So definitely recommend looking at that if you want to know more about that. But um, yeah, I mean that's about it for me. Anything else for you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. We hit everything. Look forward to talking next week and going over this fight card and then
Yeah.
previewing some of what's going on into the end of this year and then next year.
Well, I think we have this pay per
Because
view and then one more card, right? And then we're
one
done.
more card, and then I think we have 6 weeks off.
6 weeks is insane. I saw them announce that, and I was about to cry.
I
I
know.
already told my friends I was all like, if I go missing during those 6 weeks, you already know the reason why. Like,
No. And hopefully, hopefully the start of the year. It's already these fights that have been announced aren't looking too great. That first card, besides it being a little weird, I think it's a good card.
yeah,
Hopefully, it keeps that pace.
yeah, yeah. It'd be
But
interesting to
yeah,
see
6
how
weeks is
full they make
a
these
long.
cards too.
What are we going to talk about for 6 weeks?
Something. We're gonna do a lot of goofy content now.
Yeah,
We're gonna be doing fucking public MMA
have to go.
questions.
Yeah, have to go into the archives or
Yes,
something.
sir.
Get some,
uh,
get some guests in here just to talk.
yeah, no, that'll be fun. I think we're gonna get Marks on here pretty soon, so he's gonna come back, and then I want to get Gene back on again for sure for all three of us. That'd be a lot of fun. But
Okay.
we are gonna have that watch party this Saturday. If you want to come back in and slide in, I think we're gonna have all the boys back again. Um,
Yeah, I should. It's a regular fight time. Yeah, I should be able to hop on. We'll see what's happening. I'm pretty sure I'll be good.
all right, yeah, sounds good then. Yeah, we'll definitely do that, and then yeah, for everyone else watching, be sure to check out Catching a Vibe coming out Friday. That'll just be a main card breakdown that I'll do, and then yeah, make sure to follow us on TikTok. We did change our so it is I believe Fight Vibes Team. So be sure to go follow us on there. We have some new segments coming out this coming year. I am super excited about that and super pumped to get those going. But yeah, as always, thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next week. And enjoy the card this weekend. And if y'all want to slide into the watch party, feel free to. Let's do it. We're gonna have
Yeah,
fun this
it's
weekend.
a lot of fun. It gets crazy.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be so much fucking fun. Hopefully, we see some good
Yeah.
finishes. But
Yep. I don't think it'll live up to
oh, dude, now that first
the
watch party was fucking epic.
because the fight card was so good, and then the jokes and
Oh
everything, the
yeah,
timing was fucking
it was
good.
perfect. No, this weekend will
Yeah.
be good. It'll be good.
All
But
right, man.
all right, man. I appreciate you again. And then we'll see everyone next week.
All right.
All right, later.
Later.